Tony McAleer from Life After Hate, lifeafterhate.org. And I think when it comes to that question, I think most everybody agrees that wealth and equality in this country has never been higher. And a lot of people have been sliding backwards economically. Now, the white nationalists have taken that fear and learned to create political capital out of it. It isn't other races that are attacking whites to destroy their economy. I think there's much greater power structures at play there, but they get duped in by the simplistic solutions that white nationalism has to offer.
And Tony, you said that this current political climate didn't create it, nor current leaders. But for a long time, white nationalists were concentrating on a more street level than academic and political level. How is that transition from the street thuggery into academia and socio-political events changed their reach beyond the usual skinheads, etc.?
Right. So at a time of affluence, only malcontents like myself and others that were angry were drawn to these types of movements. But we talk about populism, and I think populism is often seen as anti-democratic, but I actually think it's an essential part of democracy. And what populism does is it's like the check engine light going on in your car. So populism never has the right answer. White nationalism isn't the right answer. But it does often ask the right question. There's something wrong in the socio-economic climate in this country that white nationalism isn't the answer to, but still needs to be addressed. And I think there's a lot of people that, for the first generation now, that don't expect to have a higher standard of living than their parents. Those types of things feed into fear and anxiety about young person's place in this world. And when somebody comes along with a simplistic answer, it's often easy to sign on without thinking it through.
And it sounds like the declining trust in the institutions that hold us together that you were talking about comes into play here as well to get those loose cherries off that tree.
Absolutely. And that's what that check engine light is. The trust in their institutions has never been lower. People's sense of confidence about the economy and where they're at in this country has never been lower, and it's so easy to exploit. If I go back and look into my old white nationalist self, I wish I was active now and not 30 years ago, because the climate to take advantage of people's fears and uncertainty is so great.
Lastly, what are the three things you would say are important in reaching out to individuals who are either radicalized or susceptible to radicalization? What are the three things you say we as a society, or people like you who go into, I don't say rescue them so much, but to be there, what would you say that those three things would be?
I would get them to reflect on themselves and I'd say, how is your life working out? Because I know when I was in that world, nothing in my life was firing on 2 cylinders, never mind 6. And being around angry and people all the time, how are your relationships? How's your employment, the ability to make money? How's your health? How all of these things suffer when we're drawn into that dark world.
So hate is a symptom as much as a cause, and you got to reach out to the underlying issues with some compassion and less judgment.
Yeah, so these people, again, they've picked the wrong answer. Right, and we shouldn't punish them for picking the wrong answer. We can hold them accountable, but they're human beings.
But we can address their moral choices, though.
Absolutely. But the underlying grievance is real. The answer that they've chosen is not.
Godspeed to you. Thank you so much for talking to us today. Good luck, Tony, with Life After Hate. Thank you so much. Thank you.